here if you're constantly readjusting and justifying your beliefs and your boundaries because in your mind you believe no is not a complete sentence. Or maybe you get scared of the idea of triggering jealousy and hate in other people because you feel responsible for others' emotions. Or maybe you're here because every time you can, you readjust yourself to fit in just so you can be seen as cooler, more popular, or feel safer and more validated. Then you have clicked on the right video. Welcome to my channel. I'm Joannie or Annie, and I am on a journey to grow this channel as a safe space for all women to feel seen, to grow, to heal. I am also adding my realness and my realistic life into it, showing that I'm not perfect and I still have a lot of things I'm working through and healing, and showing that that is still okay. And we can do it together. So subscribe and let's heal and grow together, both realistically and effectively. Let's talk part 1. Why external validation will never truly fulfill you. External validation will never truly satisfy you if you're not at peace with yourself. Because when you don't know what's going on up here, you will never be able to understand what's in here. When you don't work with your mind, you lose touch with your soul. Okay, here's an example. Imagine this. You're a glass cup, okay? And every time you people please, you seek validation, you settle for less, you change yourself just so others can accept you and you feel safer or more comfortable, you create cracks in the glass. With every single thing you do, you create cracks in it. By doing this, you are teaching your brain that your own voice doesn't matter because you can't fill a cup that is cracked from inside. True fulfillment only comes from your love that's within. So no matter how much love you're receiving externally, if you don't love yourself, it's like you're grabbing all that love and then throwing it away, and then wanting more because it's never fulfilling, it's never enough. And you want more and you want more, and you grab it and you throw it away again because external validation is temporarily. No matter how much we want it, how much we crave it, it's not that we crave that. It's not that we crave the approval of our peers, the validation from our parents, or the compliments from strangers. It's that we want to feel good about ourselves. We want to feel that we're enough, that we're important, that we value. The more that we receive that external validation, the more it leaves and leaves and leaves. And we start feeling emptier and wanting it again. But here's the catch. Not all validation is bad, okay? Hear me out. So let's debunk the myth. Here's the thing. Sometimes validation is good and healthy and necessary. Like when a family member you love acknowledges your hard work. When they acknowledge you and the work that you're putting in and the great things that you are doing. That is healthy validation. Because we can use that as motivation, as inspiration to keep going, to keep pushing. But the thing here is that you need to be aware of the validation you're receiving. From who and for what. Like for example, a comment that is given to you in a form of a compliment and you're not fishing for it, you're not chasing it, you're not changing yourself and betraying yourself just to get it. That is healthy validation. But once you readjust yourself, once you lie and purposely seek it out to feel better about yourself, then that's when it becomes damaging, not only to your mindset, but to your self-love, to your self-respect, to your growth. EV, external validation, not always a conscious choice. It can sometimes hide in our subconscious. And just like we validate other people when they tell us their stories and they need somebody to hear them out, or when we give a compliment to a stranger, when we acknowledge somebody's hard work, that is healthy validation. They're not fishing for it, they're not asking for it, we're giving it to them out of love, out of respect, out of inspiration. So in order to stop chasing EV, external validation, we need to start growing it from within ourselves. So here are 3 actionable steps that you can take to start growing that internal validation from within. The first one is neutral affirmations. Hear me out on this one. I'm sure we've all tried affirmations before, right? We've tried saying them in the mirror, writing sticky notes on our paper, and the thing is that they usually don't work. We've tried saying affirmations like, I'm so beautiful, I'm so kind, I'm strong, I'm smart, and it doesn't mean it's not true. Okay, it doesn't mean it's not true. But most of the time, it's because they're too vague, they're too simple, there's no proof, there's no history behind it. That's because our brain feeds truth with proof. In order to make affirmations truly work, which has worked for me for over 3 years, we need to use a strategy called neutral affirmations. This technically involves saying affirmations with history, things that we can actually say with confidence and acceptance. For example, let's say you don't fully like the way you look, okay? Instead of saying, I love the way I look, I'm so beautiful every morning, you change it up a bit. You say something less simple and something more that feels true. Like, for example, I am working on accepting myself. Or, my looks are the least interesting thing about me. Or if you're working on your self-belief, instead of saying, I believe in myself, you say, I can tolerate uncomfortable emotions without giving up. Or, my past has taught me that no matter how much times I feel like giving up, I always come back stronger. And then you recall times in your past to prove these affirmations, to prove these thoughts and these words true. You are taking affirmations and turning them into thoughts that focus on acceptance, on reality, on function, rather than forced positivity. This works because it bypasses your brain's lie detector. Because when you say an affirmation that feels too fake, your brain rejects it. It's like, okay, I know you're trying to trick me here, but clearly I can see that this is fake. I don't want it. But with neutral affirmations, they have proof. They feel real. So over time, this actually helps to reprogram your mind and rewire your thought patterns. So give it a try and you will see how fast this changes, how less forced and more real it feels. And the second one is promises. Promises don't only build self-respect, but self-belief as well. At the beginning, I know it can be hard, It can be hard to keep the promises you make to yourself because we've gotten so used to breaking them, to saying, I'll do it later, I'll do it next time, or just fully ignoring it. It's become a habit. So in order to actually be able to grow from this and actually be able to keep our promises to ourselves, which is the pillar foundation of confidence and self-love, we need to start small and realistically. Instead of telling ourselves, I'm gonna go to the gym every single day, I'm gonna eat healthy for a whole month, I'm not gonna use my phone for 3 days, which again is just too unrealistic when we haven't even stepped foot in the gym, when we've been on our phone every single morning till night, and we're not gonna follow through with it. Instead, we break it up into smaller, realistic goals. So simple that it will be so obvious not to do it. So we tell ourselves, I am gonna go to the gym once a week, okay? I'm gonna go to the gym once a week and I'm gonna give it my best. Or I'm gonna leave my phone for 1 hour or 5 minutes a day. To make it so realistic, so easy to do, that there's no way you're not gonna do it or you're not gonna follow through with it. If it still seems too hard, then you break it down to smaller pieces. There should be no, oh, it's too small. It's working for you. If it's once every 2 weeks you go to the gym, that's gonna work for you. And if we can keep our promises to these small promises, then we can start doing bigger things, making bigger promises that we're actually gonna follow through with. And this grows our self-belief that we actually set out to do the things that we tell ourselves we're gonna do. And our self-respect for showing up for ourselves when we say we're gonna show up. And the third one, understanding yourself. A person that knows themselves so well does not think another second if somebody judges them. They don't even care how others perceive them, others' opinions of them, because they know themselves to their core. They don't believe what other people think about them because that's their perception of them. But their perception of themselves is the truth. Knowing who you are at your core, turn external validation into internal validation because you will fully understand yourself. So everyone's opinions, perception, thoughts, judgments becomes background noise. It's almost like if you were to go up to a barber that's been working on the same career for 15 years and tell them, no, you're not a barber, you're a chef. Yeah, you're a chef. They're gonna look at you and think you're crazy because they know they're a barber. Like they've been doing it from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep for 15 years. So I'm pretty sure they know they're not a chef. It's to know yourself so good to your core that nobody's opinions will shake you because you'll just stare at them being like, okay, and you are? But here's the thing. How do we develop such a strong level of self-understanding? Well, we start by being so interested and curious about ourselves. Imagine when you had a crush or when you liked somebody. You were so interested in them, or when you went on a date, you wanted to know every single detail about them. That's how you need to be with yourself. You ask yourself questions to better understand yourself. You do things that you like to understand yourself. You ask yourself questions like, what are my values? What makes me happy? What are my favorite movies? What song describes me? What are my boundaries? What makes me feel resentful? What do I admire in others that I secretly have? Even simple questions like, what is my favorite color? What is my favorite animal? My favorite song? All these little things that make up who you are. There's not a such thing as a too simple or too dumb question. Every question is important. You can always also go on Google or Pinterest and search up questions that you can ask a friend, but ask them to yourself instead. And if you are interested in a video of getting to know yourself better, just let me know in the comments down below and I will gladly make it. You can also dictate a whole journal just for you. That's what I did. I dictated a whole journal for myself, and it only includes questions about me. I have things that drain me, things that inspire me. Every time I come up with a new question, I write it down and I reread the journal and I make sure, hey, you're right. When I'm feeling down, I can just go to my list and check what movies uplift me. Self-discovery builds internal validation because you are figuring out who you fully are. Your values, your beliefs, your strengths, your weaknesses, everything about you. And it also helps you recall those times in your past that you were strong, that you showed up when you didn't want to, that you were confident. And when you fully understand who you are, you stop relying on others to dictate your self-worth. Because now you're the one who makes it. You're the one that knows it and decides your self-worth. This builds confidence and awareness that helps you fully trust your decisions and your emotions without relying or depending on others' approval. And as a key takeaway, notice how often a single comment can make your day or take your day away. If you find your mood spiking super high, or if you find yourself feeling so drained after one comment, then that is a cue to work on your internal validation. So the 3 things: neutral affirmations, promises, self-discovery. The foundation of your internal validation, where it's gonna start growing from. And this is the end. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments and I will gladly respond to them. Also, make sure you follow me on my TikTok and make sure you check out my last vlog, which is real and raw, and it's technically me taking myself on a solo day after so long of not being on a solo day. It involves of me getting back into my solo dating and my self-love again. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.